What's going on, Coco? Judder here. Welcome to my bar. I'm going to show you what I've sold in the month of November on eBay and Facebook. Firstly, before we kick things off, as mentioned in my last video, I want to try a few different alcoholic beverages suggested by you. So if you have anything that you want me to try, drop it in the comments and I'll test it out on one of my videos. Firstly, I have spoken to Shaun from Pixel Flipping. If you're watching this video, it's more than likely you've seen his stuff. If you haven't, I'm going to drop a link to his YouTube channel in the comments. He has some awesome content. He's extremely helpful. I'll put his Instagram there too. He's puts great content on there, and he's also runs the Discord chat, which I'll drop in the description too. So if you're interested in that, it's an awesome chat group. Heaps of sale leads and all that sort of thing. He's the king of the Black Friday sales. He's just sort of been posting a bit of stuff there lately. So if you don't know him, check him out. But as I said, if you're here, you've probably more than likely seen him. He has suggested a beer for me to try tonight. Asahi beer. I haven't actually had this one before. It's super dry. Japanese beer. So one thing I don't like, no twist top. That's a bad start. Hate having to carry one of these around, but anyway, we're going to try and get through this while I show you what I've sold this month. Well, Shaun's a great fella, and I appreciate him a bit more because that first sip was actually quite nice. Really looking forward to hooking into this one, so I'm going to keep drinking that, and let's do it. I've never actually had this beer before, but it tastes very familiar. So it's very similar to something, and I can't quite get my head around what that's similar to. But if you haven't tried that, that is a bloody brilliant drop. I'm really enjoying that. So firstly, something that I've mentioned in the past that I sell a lot of, and I can't even remember how many there was, but I'll pop them all up around here. Plush toys. Pretty much every month is plush toy bukkake. Especially the ones with tags and stuff. I get them really cheap and I sell them all the time. So you're turning 50 cents or $1 into 15 to 30 bucks every time. But here's a few that I've sold this month, and I sell at least one plush toy a week. Today is December 2nd, and I just sold 2. So next month's video, there's going to be more plush toys. I'm not doing this by day. I'm not doing this in order because I'm just trying to smash through them. I had one buyer buy 3 items from me. There was a G-Star jacket. I paid $8 for it, and I listed it for $130. He ended up offering me $100, and I took it. Same guy bought another. It was like a motorbike jacket. It was a cheap brand, but I bought it. It was $8 as well. I bought it at a different store. He ended up buying that one off me for $50. So he ended up getting those 2, and he also bought a G-Star shirt. So it was all size medium. That got shipped off to him. So that was awesome. I love getting the one buyer buying a bulk lot of stuff off you. They're all different individual things. So a couple $100 worth of stuff a couple $100 came my way, a couple $100 worth of things went to him. So, and he was very happy. He sent a message saying he was stoked with all that stuff. So that was a good sale. Video games, there was a few of them again. I'll pop these down here as well. They're just regulars. I just sell them constantly. They're good ones, whether they're only a few bucks. If you pay $1 for them, you sell them for 10. That's sweet. That's profit. So that's a consistent seller for me. They're easy to post. I also got scammed on a video game this month. My own fault. Usually when I do cheaper video games, whack them in a large letter and send them off untracked because it's just cheaper, works out cheaper for me. I did that with a game, the new Tony Hawk's game, and the person was onto me straight away. So send this ASAP, she asked. I said, yeah, no worries, love, always do that. And then she asked if it was tracked. I made the mistake of saying no. The reason being, I would have normally tracked it because the game was a bit dearer than some of the $10 cheaper games. I had $37 on it. It was selling for around 40 to 45, I think, from memory. So I put it a bit cheaper and it sold quick. She sent me a lowball offer of $27, and I thought, oh, there's kind of me postage cost stuff at throwing a large letter. Anyway, sure enough, she claimed she didn't get it. So what do? I can't prove that I didn't send it. Can't prove that she didn't get it. So that's a hit. That's a one that I'm going to have to take, and a lesson learnt. So the one's under $10, I'm still going to do that. And if you get some asshole maggot that is going to pull that shit on you, so be it. But 9 times out of 10, they don't pull that stuff. So way back in August, get back into this. Thanks again, Shaun. That is good. Back in August, I got on Facebook and there was a bulk lot of board games for sale for $30. There was 36 of them. So I thought that's a good deal. There's quite a few decent ones in there. Most of it was just your standard shit. Everything was in awesome condition. Every time I sold something, well, every time I listed something I went through, they all had their bits and pieces. It was being really well looked after. Anyway, the first thing I sold out of that lot, I sold for like $35. So I made the money back on the whole lot. Some of it got redonated. My wife took some to her work, and the rest I'd been selling. Some of it that was left over has sat in the cupboard, and I decided it's finally time to clear all this shit out, drop prices on it. So I ended up selling a few of these items. So these are these ones here. One of them was a like a drum kit pad thing. I had it priced quite high to start with, but I ended up selling that for around $50. So that was good. And then there was a couple of others. So they all came from that lot. So essentially, if you take out the ones that I donated and gave to my wife to take to her work, I think I roughly spent about $1 something per board game. So I've ended up making a lot of profit out of that board game haul. So that worked really well for me. No free post on anything. I charged them for postage, and it worked quite well for me. So these were the ones that were left. I dropped the price, still made a profit on them. And as a whole, I can't remember what I'm even up to from that board game haul, but there's not much stuff left now, so that's all starting to clear out. If you're not already aware, my bread and butter items are footy jumpers or footy stuff. And there was a mix of that stuff. It slowed down. I haven't been focusing as much on the footy jumpers as such, and now the footy season's over. People aren't going as hard for them, but I still sold some. There was a Bulldogs player issued one that I originally got for my own collection. I paid $50 for it. I actually got my players confused. I thought it was a current player in Mitch Wallace. It turns out it wasn't. It was a guy before him. His name was Andres Everett. I wasn't overly interested in keeping it, so I just banged it up for $150 and I ended up selling it. Another one was this Doug Hawkins one that actually popped up in my last video. That sold. There was a few that I'd got from op shops. There was also a Celtics soccer shirt, which is same category for me, sports jerseys, sports jumpers. And there was also these massive 7XL. In my last video, I said they were 3XL, they weren't. The hoodie was. The jumpers I had were actually 7XL. They were like a fucking blanket. There was a Melbourne Storm one, and then the other two NRL ones, West Tigers and that. They all sold. 2 of them sold on Facebook, those ones. So that's even better when you get a Facebook sale with someone that won't piss fight you around. They're actually legit. So there's some of the footy jumpers I have sold this month. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. It's not quite a VB, but it's very tasty. I'm enjoying that. Back to it. If anyone that follows me on Instagram, they'd know quite a while ago I got an absolute bulk lot of Batman stuff. It was all old shit. I walked in this garage sale and there was just heaps of real old toys still in the packets. I nearly didn't even bother asking for prices because he had comic books, he had heaps of toys, all that sort of shit. And I thought to myself, he knows what he's got. He's obviously a collector. He knows the value of this stuff. Anyway, there was about 15 items, and I just said to him, how much for each? And he said, $5 each, but if you buy a bulk lot, I'll do a better deal. I thought, Jesus Christ, this shit's definitely worth quite a bit. I price it all very high because I'm happy to keep that sort of thing if it doesn't sell. I've still got a bulk lot of 5 on eBay at the moment. I've got it at $320. I got an offer a while ago of $200 and I knocked it back. So they're all from the first and second movie as a Catwoman, Batman, Joker, you know, Jack Nicholson one, all that sort of stuff. There was also another 3 toys still in the packet from the first movie. It was a Batman, a Joker, and one of the Joker's goons that come in a set. I ended up selling that for $170, but that was last month. So anyway, for all this stuff, I paid $45. That's crazy money. Like, I still can't get over that, paying that. Anyway, there's these other 4. They're not old. They weren't, well, I don't know how old they are, to be honest. I can't even remember now. But they weren't worth as much, that's for sure. But anyway, I bulked the 4 of them together because they were a set. I put them up for $45. Buyer pays postage. They'd been sitting there for a while. Someone sent me an offer this month, last month, of $35. I ended up taking it and I sold them because realistically that's almost what I paid for that whole lot. So those Batman toys are gone now too. This one was a funny one. Led Zeppelin jersey, Guernsey thing was in my first video from when I done that Geelong trip. Basically, someone I know mentioned that they were interested in it for their father as a gift, so I put it aside. Turns out it's probably going to be no good, so yep, all cool with that. Then someone bought it off me from the United States. The next day, it was gone. I ended up putting it on eBay, and it was gone by the next morning. I went through a little bit of a stage where I got the shits with the international postage. I just couldn't be bothered with it. I actually stuffed one up and sort of didn't lose money, but didn't get as much as what I probably should have. Anyway, I'd started whacking up stupid postage costs on some shit. So I put about $45, $50 on this thing. And someone still bought the actual jumper off me and paid that. And it ended up only costing me 20-something to post. So I ended up feeling like a bit of a dick in that sense. But then she sent me a message and she said she was so stoked that she was buying it and couldn't believe how cheap that was for her and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, she's happy. I'm happy at the end of the day. VHS. I've had a lot of luck with that for the last couple of months. So last month was when I bought the box for $5 and I had the $250 one and the one that I traded for pop vinyls and all that stuff. But I cleared out some of the other ones. I bulked up a bunch of kids ones, which should be here somewhere. And I bulked up a bunch of Disney ones and I just sold them for $20, $30. Buyer pays postage. You know the drill. Just to get them out the door because I had so many of these bloody things. And then there's a couple of individual sales on VHS tapes as well that I sold. So there's a Star Wars one. I can't even remember the rest, but if I get some screenshots, I'll put them there. And yeah, they're the VHS for this month. 2 guitars. They weren't bought with intention to resell. They were out of my own personal collection. I'm running out of room now. I have that many guitars. I sort of collected them because I'm a musician. I don't really play as much these days, but I had so many of them and I'm just making more space for, you know, more storage for the stuff that I'm trying to sell. Thought I got a lot of guitars sitting around that I don't use. I barely use them these days. So there's an old Fender Squier acoustic. I remember this guitar from kicking it around at my mates, just getting pissed and making up shitty songs and stuff, and it got smashed. It's got dents in it, but this guy was like stoked with it. He loved it, and he got a good guitar pretty cheap. I give it to him for $100, but it was beat to the shit, and he was a learner, so I don't know. He was happy with it, so I'm happy. The other one went to another learner, young girl. It was the LP copy. Her father was a musician as well. They were happy with the guitar. That went for $150. So they both come out of my own personal collection, but I'm adding that to my monthly tally because they are still sales and it still goes to the same spot. So I managed to get rid of a few of the pop vinyls from the the trade. They're the only pop vinyls I have for sale when I traded for that videotape. So sold these ones so far. The more expensive ones that I've still got, and I'm hanging for them ones to go, because I've got I found the Red Sun Superman. He's worth about roughly $100. Some of the Domo Batman, Superman, Flash, they're around $70. Superboy's around $50-$60. Some of them ones, so I'm waiting for them to go. But yeah, I have still sold a few from that lot, so I'm happy to pass them on. Some went on Facebook. Some of these screenshots were from the original listings that I had on eBay, but I went to the Facebook group, or a couple of pop vinyl Facebook groups, and found other collectors and sold them on there. There was a couple on Marketplace that sold locally, and then a couple on eBay. So they're the ones that have gone this month. Oh, these are going down a treat. We're 2 in now, Shaun. I'm going for another one because they are very, very tasty. So, a couple of random ones. From advice from other resellers, I've been picking up a few of these Ken Duncan puzzles. Got rid of one of those. Went pretty cheap on it compared to others, I think. And then these books, I just random. I took a punt on them. Charles Dickens. Knew he was popular. Must be this massive set. I've just got 4 of them, and I had them listed for a while, but I ended up palming them off for a pretty good price. I only paid $1 for each book, so they cost me $4, and sold them for that, and the buyer paid postage, so I was stoked with that. And they sent me a message saying how happy they were with the condition, so you gotta love those sort of sales, and I love getting the feedback from the buyers when they're really happy. Is nothing better. It melts your heart. Pair of kids' shoes. Don't like to do the kids' shoes too often, but sold them. I picked them up really cheap, so I was, because of the condition they were in, the brand, all that sort of stuff, they were Nikes, and I sold them quick as, and yeah, they were a nice easy sale. Ralph Lauren V-neck, that one I paid $1 for. That was in the old dollar rack at the church, so that one went quick as too. So they were 2 more items. Plenty of clothes. I'm not even going to go through all of them. I pick up a lot of golf shirts. I sold a golf shirt. I sell at least probably one of them a month, maybe one a fortnight kind of thing. Mentioned that in the last video. Golf shirt, jeans, I've sold a fair few pair of them. There was some Ralph Lauren pants. I held onto them for a long time. I actually didn't know if they were going to sell or not, but they finally sold. Rod and Gun shirt. You know, there's clothes are kind of the easy thing. I look at them a lot. I grab the brands. I follow a lot of the main YouTube channels and follow their advice on brands to get. And yeah, all that sort of stuff sells quite easily and quickly. And it's, you know, you got to measure that shit. I hate doing that stuff, but you know, the brand name stuff, I grab it anyway. I'll sell whatever's going to make me money. So I always grab that shit. And yep, they sell every month. A couple other random bits of clothing was this WWE shirt. I didn't really know how that was going to go, but for the sake of $2, people love WWE. Roman Reigns is apparently popular. I don't really know the modern day wrestlers. I haven't followed it since I was a kid, but yeah, that sold fairly quickly. And also there was a Rick and Morty hoodie. I've had it for a while. I didn't know how it'd go. They list for about $70-$80 on eBay, and I think they're just a Chinese international thing that they ship over. But I found one and I paid $8 for it. I got it quite some time ago, but I got rid of that for a good price, so that sold this month as well. Books, Batman graphic novel. Would have been happy to keep that, but anyway, that one sold. I only paid a couple of bucks for that. That's gone. There was some Warhammer stuff. Got rid of that. No, there was only one this month. The Warhammer stuff was last month. There's one Warhammer book, so that cost me $2, and then yeah, that went for about $40 odd. And there was also a small business for dummies just sold the other day. That sort of stuff I like picking up, but if you're getting those for dummies books, get the latest edition. If you get the earlier editions, they ain't worth shit. But if you do get it's the same with like textbooks and stuff. If you're looking at textbooks from universities or high schools and all that sort of stuff, make sure it's the latest edition, because the earlier ones aren't worth anything. But this Small Business for Dummies, I think it was the latest edition. If not, it was the one before it, which didn't matter too much for this particular book, but that sold. So there are a couple of the books that I sold this month. I like selling books. I love listing books. They're easy. It's just books sit around for a while. If you're going to get into selling books, be prepared to hold on to them for a bit. Bonus is easy to store, so that's not an issue there. 2 bulk lots of DVDs. Seasons 1 to 4 of Supernatural. I just seen them all sitting there, so I sold them. And then a bulk lot of Nirvana. There was a couple of concert ones and then a couple of documentary ones. So as I said, I love bulking that stuff up because they go pretty quick. You'll get a fan after them, so they're gone too. And I found in the packet for $4 a couple of sparring pads for a boxer. They were Muay Thai pads. I grabbed them and they sold very quick, and they sold locally, so the lady come and picked it up. And the last thing was just this book I got for 50 cents. It was footy cards, and it was footy quarters AFL, and it was Essendon Bombers. I'm not sure if it's complete, I have no idea, and I just kind of winged it with price based on single ones that have sold. But what they are, they're footy cards, so you get 4 cards make up 1 picture, so they call them footy quarters. And on the back of each card has some stats, on the front has a big picture of a player. So they were Essendon. There was Big Fish Salmon, Jimmy Hurd, you know, Mark Bomber Thompson, the old ice trafficker. Who was there? Gavin Wanganeen, Michael Long, all the stars from the 90s and stuff. So that sold for $38 or something. So that was a really good return on that. I had no idea about price, so I was stoked to get rid of that.
I'm going to retire and just go and do something else, like
come on,
sell frozen water or something. Yeah.
Well, it's been great to have you on. It's obviously a tough time. Everything's coming to the pointy end.
Ice. I just got brought into an ice business.
They're just a few bits and pieces. I'm not going to go into every individual item, but that's some of the main shit that I sold for the month of November. So I'm looking forward to seeing what December brings and lead up to Christmas, and then just see how quiet it gets after that. But I have a death pile that was up to my ball bag is now up to my chin, because I just keep buying more and more stuff and not listing as frequently as I should. But I have a lot of stuff, and I'm hoping, I've already made quite a few sales. We're 2 days into December. I'm already on track, so we've made quite a bit of progress into the next monthly video to see what's up. So enjoy your stubby, because I'm enjoying mine. And if you haven't tried a Asahi beer, a Japanese beer, have a go, because it's quite good. So thank you, Shaun, once again. Cheers to you, mate. If you haven't seen Shaun's stuff, get onto his YouTube, get onto his Instagram, and get onto the Discord page, because that is really, really helpful. It's very similar to the Australian Resellers group on Facebook. People just chatting away, helping each other out, and a lot of sale leads on there. So it took me a bit to work out how to use this Discord app. I was very new to it, but now I'm starting to work it out. It's been really good. So if you can download the app Discord, make an account, get in there and have a chat, because not just Shaun, but everyone on there is really helpful and friendly and all that sort of stuff. So good on you, Shaun. Keep doing your thing. And thanks again to everyone that's been subscribing and liking and commenting and all that sort of stuff. If you've got a frothy that you want me to test out in the next video, let me know, because I'm always looking forward to it. So cheers, and I'll see you in the next one.
Like a Hellcat.